Hello guys, I'm Minecraft with Dummies, and today what I have for you is a brand new tree farm. Now, as you can see immediately, is that this thing is incredibly small, with a mere footprint of 4x2. Now naturally with this it means it's incredibly easy to build, so much so that you can probably do it by just from looking around at what I've done here. It's also a more efficient model than my previous version, so it's an all-round improvement. It works as any semi-automatic tree farm does. So what you do is you get your sapling and you turn this lever on so that this gets the bone meal going, and it won't actually shoot any out until you've actually placed something down that can be bone milled. So once you put a sapling down, you'll see it will start being bone milled. So as you can see, the tree forms after the bone mill has done its job, and you can just keep on putting trees down and they will keep on growing, and you'll get obviously more and more trees. Now, as you can clearly see, the amount of time and amount of bone meal that it takes to grow each tree varies quite significantly. And from that you can see that one probably took 30 or so bone meal, whereas the one before it took only a couple. And you'll see this, if you build this for yourself, you'll see that there is a really big difference in the amount needed per tree. And you can keep on doing this as long as you want more and more trees. Obviously the most it can push out is 12, but you can obviously build more systems to push this further out. When you're done, you obviously just flick the lever off. So after the tutorial, I'll actually give you a further demonstration and talk a bit about the efficiency and tell you how it works and things like that. So stick around if you're interested in that stuff. So for building it, these are the items you're going to need, and you can either pause it, as I did a fly around earlier, or you can follow my tutorial I'm about to give now. So you're going to need 7 bits of redstone, 3 redstone torches, 3 comparators, 5 pistons, a lever, and a dispenser. Make sure it's a dispenser and not a dropper. Then you're just going to need some building blocks. I've got this quartz slab, which is going to be the ceiling, a block of dirt for the saplings to go on, and then obviously you're going to need your saplings and your bone meal. So when I was talking about the roof, I meant this bit up here, and this actually stops the trees turning into the larger trees with branches, obviously, because that is not what you want. So you can see if you're building this, it's just the 3rd block above the tree, the maximum tree height of 5. So to start with, you're going to get your dirt block, which is where the sapling's going to go, and then you're going to place a dispenser adjacent to it, and this is obviously where the bone meal is going to come out of. So you can just put that in there whenever you're ready. Now for the building, I'm actually going to be using wood, and this is just so it doesn't have any impacts on the efficiency. And also I think it looks nice as it blends in with obviously the trees that are being sprung up by the machine. So what you're going to do is you're going to put one block to the side, and you're going to put a comparator on top of this, and this is obviously going to take the output from the dispenser to get the tree, to detect the tree. So this is going to go into a block, and it's going to have a redstone torch on one side. So above this redstone torch you're going to place another block, and on this block you're going to have 1 redstone torch above and 1 redstone torch on the side. Now on the top redstone torch you're going to place a block and then a block adjacent to that, and then have 2 pieces of redstone on top. Now you're ready to place your pistons down, so they just go behind the dirt as follows. So you put 1 there, and then you simply just put your 5 up as you'd expect. Now you don't want to put your roof on as well, so when you do this you just go 2 blocks up, and then on the 3rd one you place a block, and make sure it's not wood, otherwise the large trees with branches can still grow. This just acts as a cap here, as I said. Now to test it's all working, make sure you have items in here, and then place your block down. If there are no items in here, so like that, it won't actually work, so make sure there are items in here during your testing. So that's obviously the main tree pushing circuit built, so now it's time to build the clock. What you can do is swing around the back and go to where the redstone torch is, and take 2 blocks down and knock this one away, and you're going to put a bit of redstone here. Then you're going to go 1 block down from that and 1 along, and from that you can have 2 comparators, and make sure they're both clicked on like that, and you do that by right clicking. Now this also works on the Xbox versions and the PS4 versions as well, and if this circuit isn't working for you that I'm about to build, you can just change these around and this should make it work for you. So now on this block that I've just placed here, you're going to place a piece of redstone, and as you can see, that will actually activate the dispenser. Now going around the other side, you're going to place 3 blocks, all with redstone along, like so. And if you haven't got a lever on, then it will just start the clock up. And as you can see, once I've clicked both of these, the circuit will start firing and you get your stream of bone meal. And as I said, if it's not working for you, you can just click one of the dispensers and it will go a bit slower. And yeah, if you do it with both of them, with the back one off, it actually won't work. So make sure they're both on. And naturally, you just click the lever when you're done. And there you have it, you've built your tree farm. It really is that simple. And it shouldn't take any sort of redstone knowledge to be able to follow this, as it's so minimal. So to give it a little test, you can just start up the tree farm and put your sapling down. And hopefully, before too long, we'll have a tree. Yeah, and if you just hold down right click every time a new one's built, it will just place one for you. So if you just do it like I'm doing here, when one's grown, it will just place a new one down. So now to talk about the mechanics and the efficiency. So from testing, what I got is approximately 20 bone meal per tree, which is a little better than my previous version, and it's actually pretty good for a farm of this size. Obviously there are more efficient farms around, but they're generally much larger and would require more redstone knowledge and things like that. So this is really good for if you've got less time to build those larger tree farms, even if it is slightly less efficient. But as I said, 20 bone meal per tree isn't actually that bad, and that is generally what I got over longer testing periods. However, sometimes, as you'll see, it will actually only take 1 or 2 bone meal to do, so the results really do vary a lot. So as for the mechanics, what happens is when there's a block in this space here, it will actually detect it and push it out, and that will work with all the pistons. So if there's a tree here, it will just push it all out. So for example, if I remove this piston, then it actually won't move, and you can see this redstone comparator stays on until there's a piston there, which will be activated and it will turn the system off. And that's because there's items in this dispenser, and that means when there's a solid block here, it will detect it and set the system off. So a sapling isn't a solid block, which means it actually won't set the system off. So placing one down, as you can see, nothing happens, and that will obviously change as soon as there's a solid block there. Now the rest is pretty simple, and it's just been squeezed into a smaller space as possible, so the circuit activates the pistons, and it's also got the clock below, as I showed earlier. So yeah, here we have possibly the smallest tree farm you're going to find on YouTube or elsewhere, and it works on pretty much all systems past 1.5, so you'll get it on the regular Minecraft on PC, the new version of Minecraft in the pre-releases, both Xbox and PS4. So I think this is a pretty good system because it uses pretty simple mechanics squeezed into a really small space to get a relatively efficient farm that works across all platforms. So yeah, if you've made it this far and you like what you see, feel free to give it a thumbs up. But I believe that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.